Bedtime stories. This one is for Miracle, because it's about presidents.
Fucking American, man.
Once upon a time, there was a man named Franklin Pierce, and he had a real great haircut. That's not true at all. I'm gonna start over. That didn't go right. Bedtime stories. Once upon a time, there was a man named Franklin Pierce, and he had a real great haircut. One day, he was elected President of the United States. Soon after, he lost his oldest son, his wife, his vice president, the rest of his children, his nomination for re-election, and his lunch money. After that, he buried himself inside a bottle of gin while vultures fed on the remains of everything he ever lost, as was the custom of the time. Thank you. It is said that William Howard Taft invented burping and dined on vultures using his keen legal mind and custom silverware while an enormous bathtub was constructed around him. People would come from miles around and he'd give them his teeth, and this is how souvenirs were invented. One day, a man named Franklin Delano Roosevelt woke up to find several birds in his chest that soon ate their way down to his legs, where they live to this day. He spent most of his life keeping a blanket over his legs because birds like to sleep when it's dark. He'd tell them stories about how William Howard Taft ate vultures and how a man named Andrew Jackson ate bald eagles, which lived in a hickory tree, and that is why they called him Old Hickory, and also why, depending on what you may have heard, there are no more bald eagles. Franklin Delano Roosevelt hoped that these stories would scare the birds into going away, but the thing about birds is that they don't speak English or respond well to threats. When I tell you this, I will be smiling, because your life is a shining example of all the things I have never done. And if I could, I would replace everyone's face with yours, so that every day my heart would just break wide open, and my head would catch on fire, and I could, for that moment, be surrounded by your love, right before my head explodes in a miraculous tribute to this great nation, and we wake up in the morning and do it all over again, but different and better, with a car crash, a shipwreck, a few rigged elections, and a truly spectacular excuse for a dinner party, with the sort of twist ending that just sends you staggering out, cold and wild, into that night, convinced for that single solitary instant of your own individual miraculousness. Hallelujah! Now go to bed. Thank you.